Top 10 animal superpowers you won't believe are real? 10. The hairy frog, nature's Wolverine. Meet the only animal that stabs its enemies with its own skeleton, and even science says this shouldn't be possible. Meet the hairy frog, also known as the Wolverine frog. When threatened, the hairy frog intentionally fractures its toe bones, jabbing sharp claws through its skin like nature's switchblade. Yes, it wolverines itself. Here's the nightmare fuel. Scientists don't know how the claws retract or how the wounds heal without infection. Did evolution forget to give this frog pain receptors? But hey, if I had to live in a world of snakes, monkeys, and humans trying to eat me, I'd probably grow bone knives too. Native to Central Africa, the male Trichobatrachus robustus grows these weird hair-like strands on his body during mating season. Oh, and those hairs? Not hairs at all. They're fleshy gills for underwater breathing because apparently bone knives weren't terrifying enough. 9. The pistol shrimp. The real-life underwater gunslinger. Move over James Bond. There's a new secret weapon in town and it's only 2 inches long. Meet the pistol shrimp, also called the snapping shrimp. Sounds cute, right? Wrong. This little crustacean is the deadliest gunman in the ocean, and it doesn't even carry a weapon. It is the weapon. With one freakishly oversized claw, it can snap so fast it creates a bubble that shoots at 100 kilometers per hour. That snap is so loud, over 200 decibels, it stuns, knocks out, or even kills nearby fish. It's so loud, entire colonies can jam submarine sonar. Yes, they are that loud. The U.S. Navy literally has to avoid them. And here's the wild part. That snap doesn't just make noise. It creates a tiny cavitation bubble that reaches 4,700 degrees Celsius, almost as hot as the surface of the sun for just a split second. All that from a shrimp the size of your thumb. So if you thought the ocean was a peaceful place, think again. There's a shrimp out there, armed and snapping. And the weirdest part? This solo assassin has a roommate, a goby fish that stands guard like a tiny bodyguard. 8. The parasite that becomes a fish's tongue. This isn't a sci-fi horror story. This is real. Meet the tongue-eating isopod who sneaks in through the gills, latches onto the tongue, and drains its blood until the tongue rots off. Then it becomes the tongue. The fish keeps swimming like nothing happened, while this parasite just chills there, chewing food right alongside it. This parasite is called Cymathoa exigua, and it's the only known parasite that replaces an entire organ in its host. So the next time your tongue feels weird, just be glad you're not a fish. 7. The Hoen, nature's feathered mistake. This bird smells like a porta potty, eats like a cow, and climbs like Velociraptor. Meet evolution's weirdest draft pick, the Hoen, and no, it's not from Jurassic Park. It's a real bird from the Amazon. It digests food like a cow, fermenting leaves in a giant gas-filled stomach. And its babies? They've got actual claws on their wings, just like dinosaur fossils. Jurassic Park didn't need CGI, they needed this bird. And adults, they're not much better. They can barely fly, they honk like broken accordions. And because of all that gut gas, they smell really, really bad. So much so, locals call it the stink bird. Evolution didn't just roll the dice on the Hoen, it threw the whole board game out the window. But somehow, it works. The Hoen is thriving, awkwardly flapping around South America, living its best leaf-munching life, smell and all. 6. The Axelottle, the real-life regenerating Pokemon. Meet the Axelottle, nature's little smiling water wizard. It looks like a cartoon. It lives underwater, and it can regrow its brain. Yes, you heard that right. Lose a leg? Grows back in weeks. Spinal cord severed? Fixes itself. Even brain damage just resets. This little guy is basically a walking science fiction miracle. And yes, that permanent baby face isn't CGI, it never grows up. Evolution hit pause and called it art. Scientists call this condition neoteny, but fans call it adorable. But here's the tragedy. In the wild, they're dying. Only 1,000 remain in Mexico's polluted lakes. Yet in labs, they're saving lives, earning them the title of hope for regenerative medicine. 5. The leafy sea dragon, nature's master of disguise. At first glance, you might think this is seaweed. But wait, did that leaf just swim? Meet the leafy sea dragon, a fish so stunning it looks like Mother Nature got bored and started designing Pokemon. It's not actually a dragon or a leaf. It's a cousin of the seahorse with a flair for the dramatic. Those leafy appendages, completely useless for swimming. They're camouflage only, helping the sea dragon vanish into underwater forests. Predators pass by thinking, hey, just kelp. Meanwhile, the sea dragon's just chilling. And get this, they don't have teeth or a stomach. They just slurp up tiny shrimp all day like lazy underwater noodles. Which, let's be honest, is living the dream. But like many amazing marine creatures, leafy sea dragons are vulnerable, threatened by pollution and habitat loss. 4. The bombardier beetle. This tiny insect is basically a tank with legs. Meet the bombardier beetle. A bug so hardcore it blasts boiling chemicals out of its butt to scare off enemies. No, seriously, it has a built-in chemical cannon. Here's how it works. 2 chemicals stored in its abdomen stay separate, like a science project waiting to explode. But when danger strikes, boom, they mix, heat up to 100 degrees Celsius, and blast out in rapid-fire bursts like a mini machine gun. The beetle literally cooks its enemies on the spot. Even humans feel the sting if they mess around too much. The bombardier beetle is proof that size doesn't matter when your butt is a bazooka. 3. The Mantis Shrimp. This creature might look like a rainbow lobster on vacation, but don't be fooled. The Mantis Shrimp is a cold-blooded underwater boxer with the fastest punch in the animal kingdom. How fast? 50 miles per hour in the blink of an eye. That's the same acceleration as a bullet leaving a gun. Aquarium glass shattered. Crab shells cracked wide open. Fingers, better keep them out of the tank. Their punch is so fast it creates cavitation bubbles, tiny explosions that produce heat, light, and shock waves. So even if they miss the target, the shock wave still hits. They're like living, multicolored nunchucks with eyes that see 16 types of color receptors. That's 13 more than you. So yeah, the mantis shrimp isn't just deadly. It's a rainbow-hued, glass-breaking underwater superhero. 2. The horned lizard. Okay, picture this. You're a predator in the desert. You spot a chubby little lizard with horns, looks like a crunchy snack, right? Wrong. This is the horned lizard, and when it's threatened, it doesn't just run or hiss. It shoots blood out of its eyes, straight into your face. Yeah, you heard that right. It ruptures tiny vessels near its eyes and squirts a stream of blood up to 5 feet to startle or blind its attacker. Nature said, what if a toad had a self-defense feature designed by Quentin Tarantino? The blood even contains chemicals that taste disgusting to canines. So if a coyote thinks it's got a snack, instant regret. 1. The tardigrade, the animal that can survive space. Meet the tardigrade, also called a water bear or moss piglet. It looks like a tiny plush sausage with legs, but don't let the cuteness fool you. This is arguably the toughest creature on Earth. It can survive boiling temperatures, freezing at negative 272 degrees Celsius, radiation, crushing pressure, and oh yeah, it survived the vacuum of outer space, like actual space. No spaceship, just vibes. They do it by entering a state called cryptobiosis. Basically, they dry out, stop moving, and hit pause on life. No heartbeat, no brain activity, just on standby. If there's an apocalypse, the tardigrades are going to inherit the earth. From death-defying tardigrades to snapping shrimp that pack a sonic punch, evolution really went off the rails in the best way possible. Which of these animal powers would you want?